The Sahel region of Africa has been facing a growing insurgency in recent years, with various terrorist groups taking advantage of the region's weak governance and widespread poverty to expand their influence and conduct attacks on civilians and military targets in the Sahel and the different terrorist groups operating in the region. The Sahel is a vast semi-arid region that stretches from the Atlantic coast of West Africa to the Red Sea in East Africa. It encompasses part of 10 countries including Mauritania, Mali, Niger, Chad, and Burkina Faso, and is home to some of the poorest and most vulnerable populations in the world. The region has long been characterized by its high level of instability, including ethnic and political tensions, poverty, and underdevelopment. In recent years, a growing number of terrorist groups have taken advantage of these vulnerabilities to establish a presence in the Sahel. The most prominent of these groups is the Islamic State in the Greater Sahara, ISGS, which has been active in the region since 2015. ISGS is an affiliate of the Islamic State of Iraq and Syria, ISIS, and is primarily based in Mali, Niger, and Burkina Faso. The group is responsible for a series of attacks on civilians and military targets, including a 2017 ambush on a joint US-Niger patrol that resulted in the death of 4 US soldiers. Another major terrorist group in the Sahel is Al-Qaeda in the Islamic Maghreb, AQIM, which has been active in the region since the early 2000s. AQIM is primarily based in Algeria, but has expanded its operations to Mali, Niger, and Burkina Faso in recent years. The group is responsible for a series of high-profile attacks in the region, including the 2013 assault on a gas plant in Algeria that resulted in the deaths of 38 hostages. Israel is also home to a number of other smaller and more localized terrorist groups. These include Jamaat Nusrat al-Islam, Wal Muslimin JNIM, a coalition of several Islamist extremist groups based in Mali, and Sadaim and Tuareg, separatist group that has aligned itself with AQIM and Boko Haram, a Nigerian-based terrorist group that has expanded its operations to Chad, Niger, and Cameroon. The insurgency in the Sahel has had a devastating impact on the region's civilian populations, who have been caught in the crossfire between terrorist groups and government forces. The conflict has also displaced hundreds of thousands of people, leading to a growing humanitarian crisis in the regions. The United Nations has estimated that more than 20 million people in the Sahel are currently in need of assistance, including food, water, and healthcare. Efforts to combat the insurgency in the Sahel have been led primarily by regional governments, with support from France and other international partners, In 2014, the G5 Sahel Group was established to coordinate regional efforts to address security challenges in the region. The group includes Burkina Faso, Chad, Mali, Mauritania, and Niger, and has been supported by France, the United States, and other international partners. Despite these efforts, the insurgency in the Sahel shows no signs of abating. The ongoing conflict has highlighted the need for a comprehensive, long-term approach to address the underlying drivers of instability in the region, including poverty, underdevelopment, and weak governance. Without addressing these root causes, the Sahel will continue to be vulnerable to extremist groups and their violent attacks on civilians and military targets. The insurgency has caused widespread suffering and displacement, leading to humanitarian crisis in the region. The root causes of the insurgency in the Sahel can be traced back to the combinations of factors including poverty, underdevelopment, and weak governance. The region is home to some of the poorest and most vulnerable populations in the world, with high rates of unemployment and limited access to education, healthcare, and other basic services. Moreover, the Sahel has long been characterized by ethnic and political tensions, which has been exploited by the terrorist groups to gain support and recruit new members. The insurgency in the Sahel has had a devastating impact on the region's civilian populations who have been caught in the crossfire between terrorist groups and government forces. The conflict has also displaced hundreds of thousands of people, leading to a growing humanitarian crisis in the region. The United Nations has estimated that more than 20 million in the Sahel are currently in need of assistance, including food, water, and healthcare. However, the insurgency in the Sahel has proved to be a difficult challenge for governments and international organizations. The terrain in the Sahel is vast and difficult to control, and terrorist groups have proven to be adaptable and resilient in the face of government offenses. The Sahel also suffers from a lack of resources and capacity, making it difficult to sustain long-term efforts to address the root cause of the conflict. To address the underlying drivers of instability in the Sahel, it is crucial to focus on promoting economic growth,